Welcome to the start of a new anime review series. This is the Helpful Fox Senko-San, Part 1 of 3. This is covering roughly the first 4 episodes of the series, which last called Hero, which is definitely like this one from a manga. Yes, a manga. That started roughly 3 years ago, and the series itself has only released 54 chapters. The series itself adapts most of the series that's been released. And the thing that makes the series, yeah, as far as I can tell, this is the only series I can think of that the studio that made the series called Dog something. Let's see if I can open up here. The company is called Doga Kabo. Yes, and the series aired from April 10th to June 26th of 2019. Roughly another series that aired just last year. Yep. The series' premise is simply this. A man named Indigo basically is coming home from work, and what is he? Now, the episode itself is complete anime original, because when I read the manga, this is not how the manga opened up. Well, basically, let's just say these episodes have the first 7 chapters in the manga. They roughly put the order of the ones quite interesting. The first episode adapts the first chapter of the series, which is obvious. Second episode adapts chapters 2 and 5, 3 through 4, and 4, 6 through 7. That's what's adapted for these episodes. Yep. Now, as to how far the series went to, well, they didn't go very far in the manga. They only went about 2 years in. From what I can tell, it's a monthly manga, from what I can tell. Somewhat, anyways, even though they've only produced like 54 chapters. And here's the last chapter that came out like 2 months ago. Yeah, unknown why they haven't released a new chapter yet, but who knows. Now, pretty much we have the main character, Sonoko, who is a fox, who's basically a fox yoki. Yeah, it's basically one of those creatures from Japanese mythology, who takes the form of a little girl. Even though she's 800 years old, she apparently is sent with him by her two, let's just say, higher ups. You don't see her faces here. Nope. One of them you do see her face in episode 4. The other one, not yet. So she's like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to pamper him. And it's very heavily implied, because they show Nezuko's childhood, implied that she has known him since he was a child when he was living with his grandmother. Yep. So he comes home after a very long day at work. Apparently he wants to skip dinner because he basically got home so late. And what is he having at home? So they go making him dinner. And he goes like back and forth. And he's like, what is this? This also a wrong apartment. And turns out it's actually his. And then he politely kicks her his apartment. Then she's able to get back in his apartment by simply walking through the frickin' door. Yep. And then she's like, here, like, I'll throw out this dinner if you're not really hungry. He's like, okay, I'll eat it. Eats it, and like, wow, so delicious. And apparently, now, they don't show us in the manga. Apparently, it's like some kind of darkness surrounding him. They don't show us in the manga. Doesn't want to cool him with some food. And eventually, he also wants to pet her tail. Yeah, he has a fetish, basically. That was a fetish in the series for rubbing her tail. And of course, she has no problem with it. Of course, he also does anything to her ears as well, which I guess for a lot of people, basically, everybody does their ears. And the way she introduces herself, like this is exactly how they introduce in the manga. Like, oh yeah, my name is Sonoko, and she refers to herself as a fox god, and she is 800 years old, despite the fact she looks like a 12-year-old. Also, we also see Yurikiko, I think her name is. She's Nudiko's neighbor. She pops up occasionally, and you see that she's an artist. Her name is Yazuko. A very beautiful woman, despite the fact she's actually really lazy. Yeah, and apparently she's got a messy apartment, so yeah, she got basically worried about the apartment being noisy. Yep, and we have various stuff happen here, like not preparing dinner. Of course, he wakes up, and of course, she's still there. And we also have it where one of the episodes have basically where he goes to sleep, but since she's a goddess, be impolite for her to sleep on the floor because she sleeps like she's an actual fox. So, like, okay, I'll get a guest futon for you. He's like, nah, I'm gonna float. Yeah, she reveals she actually floats, and she actually hops into his bed. No, and of course when she changes out of her maiden outfit, she does it right in front of him. Though he politely looks away. Yep. Gotta at least praise the fact the guy is a gentleman. He doesn't look like, oh, okay, you're gonna change right in front of me. I get the fact that we're sharing this apartment, but maybe she should go to another room to change her nightgown. What's simple at robe, and apparently underneath the robe looks like she doesn't wear anything. But that's probably very typical for her. So of course she sleeps, and of course he gets a chance to fluff her tail, and of course, you have various stuff basically happen, like they even let's see, what else was it? Let's see, she does attempt to basically she actually cleans his apartment and cleans his futon too. Of course, he says he doesn't have time to do it because he's so busy at work. What he's doing at his work is not exactly explained. So one day, basically, his work is he gets his boss basically apparently off gets like chew him out, and after taking a bath one time. He says, can I wash your back next time? And of course his ear is basically full of water. And now there's a slight minor change here for the manga. In the manga, when he goes for Q-tips, it basically they're near like some picture. In the anime, it's near a laptop. It's an okay change. It mostly put for these episodes. They say pretty close to how the manga originally present the source material, the stuff they present for these episodes. With that, what description of minor change? Mostly it's the same. Heck, even mostly almost the same dialogue. Yeah. So she basically cleans the old-fashioned way. Of course, a couple times he basically goes on her lap. Yeah, she basically invites to use her lap as a lap pillow. Yeah, not the only series I've seen where you have a male character having a woman having lap pillow time. This basically also happens in Is It Wrong to Girls? And it's happened in several series. Heck, this even happens in ReZero where two women of the series, Rem and Amelia, also does the same thing in that series where there's lap pillow time. Yep. And she basically loves doing this. And she's like, when he cleans ears, like, I'll clean your ears, and in exchange, you get to touch my ears. And and then, of course, he rubs inside the ears. And of course, that kind of spooks her out. Of course, he does apologize for it. At one point, Yasuko basically gets so tired of the noise, she basically keeps barging the door. And apparently, she opens the door without even, after knocking multiple times when they're basically just playing a video game. And basically, the deal was basically that, well, if he wins, he gets basically rubber tail. And of course, basically, so that's something I'll see is like, okay, I'm gonna bribe her with food, basically give her leftovers, and apparently she's not eating in 2 days. That could explain why she's so freaking thin. And I'm like, no, Nico, you know your next door neighbor is a beautiful woman. Go ask her out. That would have been something. But as far as I know, they don't. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's also a day where apparently she has no idea how to use any machines in the apartment. So the only machine she's actually using is a stove. Yeah, try to use the wash machine. Everything comes to fuzzy. Of course, she has that rewashing the stuff. She uses the AC, turns on, no problem. And it turns off because it gets so cold. And apparently, she picks up the wrong remote because everything has to turn on. Of course, there's a vent cleaner. The vent cleaner is not the way we use it here. Theirs is a little different, so that apparently bothers her. Eventually, she does clean the apartment and of course, they also got a chance to cause a blackout, and of course, let's make some dinner with some stuff, and everything's fine. And then she's flashing back to the moment when she was a little bit younger. We're seeing a person who looks exactly like Nizuko. And she's like, man, it would have been so nice to remember this fondly if he weren't rubbing my tail. And of course, the episode ends with a friend of hers basically saying, oh yeah, you haven't removed the darkness from his heart yet. That is... Shiro. Yeah, you first see her in this episode. You see her face fully. And, well, that's the episodes themselves. I mean, it's just a series of stuff that happens. That's what happens in these episodes. But it's just pure fun to watch, and it's a slice of life type of series. Last one I watched was something like this was My Girlfriend's a Slutty Virgin. But this overall was actually pretty damn good. It's over Joba Anime. Now, as for the voice cast of the series, well, before I looked up a few of them, they're mostly just voice actors who voice like minor characters or characters for like maybe like 1 or 2 episodes, but that's simply it. Yeah, that's what I can tell for the series. No big name actors, just a bunch of basically other actors who work on Funimation to dub the series. Yeah. I'm sure, I know these people I can tell are very talented voice actors, but couldn't they basically squeeze in a big name voice actor to get this series some attention? Like in the case of, there's a series that's very similar to this one, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maiden. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. It's very similar to this. And the only difference is, almost the entire cast, that one is mostly women. This one's kind of the same thing too. Oh, and by the way, aside from the male lead of the series, the only other male characters you see in the series are his boss and some other guy works his work, which don't know much about these two guys, and that's it. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, you get pretty much details like every single character pops up in the series. And at least that one actually has some actual big name voice actors on it. This one doesn't have any big name voice actors on it, which I'm like, that was weird. Like, you couldn't squeeze in by anyone? Okay, fine, whatever. But fun episodes to watch. And I'm looking forward to watching the next 4 episodes discussed in part 2. And yes, after finishing the series, I will be watching Raise Your Hero after reading the first 5 light novels for that series. Okay, so that's it for single review. Stay tuned for, well, part 2. If I get a chance to do it tonight, if not, do it tomorrow, okay? Until next video. Bye.